Good morning, students. Welcome to your English literature class. Today, we are going to revise story My Financial Career from Hedward English Trail. Children, we have already read this chapter earlier and today we are going to revise this chapter once again. By the end of this video, you will be able to express story in your own words, meanings of difficult words and phrases, and you will be able to answer the related questions. Let us start with today's class. Students, before we read the story, I will give you the introduction about author and brief summary of this story. Let's start with author's introduction. This story is written by Stephen Leacock, who is a Canadian writer. In his story, My Financial Career, he humorously presents a person's first experience in the bank. He amuses the readers by exposing the narrator's tension and stupid actions inside the bank. Let's start with the summary of today's chapter. The narrator's salary had been increased by $56 each month, and he wanted to deposit the extra money in the bank. When he entered the bank, the sight of the clerks, the sight of money, even everything in the bank made him nervous. He didn't understand what he was talking or doing. He asked a clerk if he could see the manager alone. Then, at the sight of manager, he again asked if he could see him alone. The word alone alarmed the manager, who thought that the narrator was a detective. The narrator said that he was not a detective, but he had intended to keep all his money in his bank. The manager thought that the narrator was a millionaire, like Rothschild or a young Gould. The narrator revealed that he had planned to deposit $56 a month in his bank. The manager became very impatient and directed him to a clerk named Montgomery. In his tension, the narrator entered into an iron safe, mistaking it for the door. The manager ordered him to come out. Thus, the narrator made a fool of himself in front of everyone in the bank. With difficulty, he deposited $56 in the bank. Then he wanted to withdraw $6 for his present use. He took the check and wrote 56 instead of 6. The clerk in the bank was surprised and he asked him if he really wanted to withdraw the money he had deposited. To hide his foolishness, the narrator pretended that somebody had insulted him in the bank and he had decided to take away all his money back. He got the money back and rushed out of the bank. Everyone in the bank laughed at his foolish and silly mistakes. Now students, open your page 135, chapter number 16, My Financial Career, written by Stephen Leacock. Let's start with time to start exercise. Answer these questions. Let's read first question. Have you ever been to a bank? Briefly and quickly describe the sights and sounds that you have experienced there. So children, what do you see in a bank? Bank employees, cabins, different sections for different affairs, manager, general manager, customers and employees in the banks. So students, you can answer in this way. Yes, I have been to a bank. When I entered the bank for the first time, I saw that the employees were busy in their work. There were different sections which handled different affairs of the bank. There were different cabins provided for the manager and general manager of the bank. The work was done in a systematic way. It was really a great experience. Now students, read the second question. What stood out in your memory? One good thing and one unpleasant one. Students, you can answer this question in this way. My visit to the bank made me learn many new and different things about the functioning of the bank. The unpleasant thing happened there that I was not able to fill my form myself. The pleasant or good thing I remember is that the bank employees were very kind and polite to all the customers. Now students, before we start reading, let us discuss the word meanings and phrases of page number 135. Dragging, pulling something along forcefully. Shyly, nervously. Obliged, required. Hollow, weak sound. Solemnly, in a formal way. Fetched, got. Grave, serious. Clutched, kept together firmly. Obvious, clear. Now students, let us move towards the phrases. At the counter, काउंटरों पर. To do business there, वहां व्यापार करने के लिए. To consult the manager, प्रबंधक से परामर्श करने के लिए. In some alarm, कुछ संदेह में. Now let's read about the experience of the writer when he went to a bank to deposit money. When I go into a bank, I get nervous. The clerks make me nervous. The little windows at the counters make me nervous. The sight of the money makes me nervous. Everything makes me nervous. The moment I go through the door of a bank and attempt to do business there, I became an irresponsible fool. I knew this before I went in, but my salary had been raised to $56 a month, and I felt that the bank was the only place for it. So I walked in with dragging feet and looked shyly round at the clerks. I had an idea that a person about to open an account was obliged to consult the manager. What makes the narrator nervous when he enters the bank? When the narrator enters the bank, the clerks, the little windows at the counters, the sight of the money, everything in the bank makes the narrator nervous. The narrator says that the moment he enters a bank and attempts to do business there, he behaves like an irresponsible fool. Why the narrator called himself an irresponsible fool, children? The narrator called himself an irresponsible fool because he did not know what he had to do and where to go and how to approach right person in the bank. If the narrator knew that he behaved like a fool in the bank, then why did he go to the bank? In spite of knowing that he behaved like a fool in the bank, he went to the bank because his salary had been raised and he felt that the best place to store his money was the bank. To what extent had the narrator's salary been raised? Narrator's salary had been raised to $56 a month. How did the narrator enter the bank and why? The narrator entered the bank with dragging feet because he didn't know how he might be treated inside the bank. The narrator had a misconception that if somebody had to open an account in the bank, he must talk to the manager. I went up to a counter marked accountant. The accountant was a tall, cool fellow. The very sight of him made me nervous. My voice was deep and hollow. "Can I see the manager?" I said, and added solemnly, alone. I don't know why I said alone. Certainly, said the accountant and fetched him. The manager was a grave, calm man. I held my $56 clutched in a screwed up ball in my pocket. The narrator reached up to a counter marked accountant where a tall, cool fellow was sitting. He was an accountant, whose sight made the narrator nervous. The very sight of the accountant made the narrator nervous. What was the first question asked by the narrator from the accountant? In his nervousness, the narrator asked the accountant if he could see the manager alone, with special emphasis on the word alone. The accountant took the narrator to the manager, who was a serious, calm man. The narrator had kept $56 in his pocket in crumpled up ball. Children, crumpled up means something like a piece of paper which we crush before throwing in the dustbin. Can I see the manager? I said. Who said this line and to whom? The narrator said this line to the accountant. Are you the manager? I said. God knows I didn't doubt it. Yes, he said. Can I see you? I asked alone. I didn't want to say alone again, but without it, the thing seemed obvious. The manager looked at me in some alarm. He felt that I had a terrible secret to reveal. The narrator knew that the man standing before him was a manager, but he was so nervous that he asked him, Are you the manager? And the manager replied him in affirmation that he was. What made the manager think that the narrator had an awful secret to reveal? When the narrator wished to talk to the manager alone, he thought that the narrator had come to tell him some secret. So he took him into a private room and locked it. Can I see you? I asked alone. Who said this line and to whom? The narrator said this line to the manager. Now students, let's do just a minute. Which words and phrases reveal the writer's nervousness? Nervous, irresponsible fool, dragging feet, shyly are some words that reveal writer's nervousness. Children, I hope the Storytel page number 135 is clear to all of you. Now open your page number 136. But before we start reading, let us discuss the word meanings and phrases of page number 136. Terrible, horrible, interruption, disturbance, mysterious, strange, detective, investigator, rival, competitor, tempted, lured, intend, to plan, relieved, to ease, fairly large, very large, whispered, spoke loudly, propose, suggest, unkindly, not treating someone very well, coldly, in an unfriendly manner, conjuring trick, magic trick, pale, light colored. From interruption here, यहाँ बाधा से, from my mysterious manner, मेरे रहस्यमय तरीके से, at the side of the room, कमरे के किनारे पर, to draw out, निकालने के लिए. Let us start our reading of page number 136. Come in here, he said, and led the way to a private room. He turned the key in the lock. We are safe from interruption here, he said. Sit down. Why did the manager lock the room? The manager locked the room so that no one would be able to interrupt them. We both sat down and looked at each other. I found no voice to speak. You are one of Pinkerton's men, I suppose, he said. He had gathered from my mysterious manner that I was a detective. I knew what he was thinking, and it made me worse. No, not from Pinkerton's, I said, seeming to suggest that I came from a rival agency. To tell the truth, I went on, as if I had been tempted to lie about it. I am not a detective at all. I have come to open an account. I intend to keep all my money in this bank. The manager looked relieved but still serious. He concluded now that I was a son of Baron Rothschild or a young Gould. A large account, I suppose, he said. The narrator and manager sat down and looked at each other, but the narrator was still nervous and unable to speak anything. The manager doubted on the narrator that he was one of Pinkerton's men. Now, children, Pinkerton's is a prominent private security and detective agency which was established in United States in 1850. The manager thought that narrator was one of Pinkerton's men, that he was a detective from Pinkerton's detective agency. What made the manager think that the narrator worked at Pinkerton's detective agency? The narrator's mysterious behavior and his intention to meet the manager alone made him think that he worked in Pinkerton's detective agency. The narrator felt even more nervous. He assured the manager that he was not from Pinkerton's men. His words, "No, not from Pinkerton's," suggested that he was not a detective from Pinkerton's detective agency. He came from some rival agency, that is, from some other detective agency. Then he explained to the manager that he was not a detective. Actually, he had come to open an account and wanted to keep all his money in that bank. The manager thought that the narrator was a rich man, like Baron Rothschild or a young Gould, who had come to deposit a large amount of money in his bank. Students, who was Baron Rothschild? Baron Rothschild was a British banker and politician from a wealthy international Rothschild family. And Gould is known as a rich person. We are safe from interruption here. Who said this line and to whom? The manager said this line to the narrator. You are one of Pinkerton's men, I suppose. Who said this line and to whom? The manager said this line to the narrator. No, not from Pinkerton's. Who said this line and to whom? The narrator said this line to the manager. Fairly large, I whispered. I propose to deposit $56 now and $50 a month regularly. The manager got up and opened the door. He called to the accountant. Mr. Montgomery, he said, unkindly loud. This gentleman is opening an account. He will deposit $56. Good morning. I rose. A big iron door stood open at the side of the room. Good morning, I said, and stepped into the safe. Come out, said the manager coldly, and showed me the other way. I went up to the accountant's counter and pushed the ball of money at him with a sudden quick movement as if I were doing a conjuring trick. My face was pale as death. Here, I said, deposit it. The tone of the words seemed to mean, let us do this painful thing while we are in mood for it. He took the money and gave it to another clerk. When the manager asked the writer if he wanted to deposit a large amount of money, the writer said he had come to deposit quite a large amount, that is $56, and every month he would deposit $50. The writer's nearly $56 shocked the manager so much that he stood up to suggest the narrator should also leave the room. He got irritated and directed him to a clerk named Montgomery. When did the manager's attitude change? Manager's attitude changed when he came to know that the author had come to open an account to deposit just $56. In his tension, instead of going out of the room, he entered into an iron safe, thinking it to be a door. The manager ordered him to come out and showed him the way to the door. Thus he made fool of himself. The writer went up to the accountant's counter and gave him the money which he had kept in his pocket in a shape of crumpled ball. The accountant took the money and gave to another clerk. Why does the writer use the words unkindly loud? The writer uses the words unkindly loud to show the rude behavior of the manager. How did Mr. Montgomery treat the writer? Mr. Montgomery treated the writer in an unfriendly manner. This brings us to the end of today's session. Your homework for today is to reread the text and revise and plan question answer, time to answer, question 1 till 3 and reference to context question 1 till 3 on page number 138.